Right now, 5 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and 1 Libertarian are all vying to become the next governor of the natural state. And we want to give you a chance to meet these candidates by the issues that they'll govern on. Now, this is a lot of names to keep track of, so we looked at recent funding, which shows Chris Jones, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and Ricky Harrington Jr. as the frontrunners in their respective parties. The other Republican candidate is Doc Washburn. The other Democratic candidates are James Russell, Zuffa Mays, Anthony Bland, and Jay Martin. Over the next few weeks, we'll break down how each party's highest funded candidate says they'll run their office. Tonight, we're getting to know the candidates and their priorities when it comes to Arkansas's economy and industry. In a crowded race for the Democratic nomination, Chris Jones is currently the highest funded candidate. The Pine Bluff native is looking to bring his experience as a scientist into the political arena, staying close to the center.
If you really want to stick a label on me, you can stick pragmatic on there. Pragmatic Democrat.
Jones is working to refocus how issues like state spending and employment impact the individual Arkansan.
And really, I care about, as I mentioned, PB&J, preschool, broadband, and jobs, which is really education, infrastructure, and economic development.
Jones says overall, he's aiming to take a closer look at how each dollar is spent to try and avoid further taxes. Is there anything in mind that you would think of cutting right now, or anything that you're going to really take a closer look at?
It's hard to imagine the need for cutting budgets in the educational space.
Jones also says he still wants better support for pandemic resources, but with a more direct path to health care.
At the end of the day, what they said works is really providing, the financial resources that they need, particularly in the areas that lack staff, that lack the supports, but have the need.
On the Libertarian ticket, Ricky Harrington Jr. is the sole candidate vying for the job. You may remember his name from the 2020 U.S. Senate race, where he received more than 33% of the vote against Tom Cotton. He's also running on a more practical platform, but he's less focused on change and more on maintaining the status quo.
I'm a very pragmatic person. If it is not broke, don't fix it.
But he says he is looking to fix or change how the economy runs in Arkansas. How would you continue to push for growth in industry with a worker shortage?
We need to start taking a look at circular economies. And these are economies where our waste become the product again, and attracting companies.
His focus is on securing basic needs before the state's potential for growth.
Simple food, clothing, shelter type of politics.
Aiming to be an option for Arkansans who feel torn at the polls.
So I'm not beholden to any party. I'm beholden to the people of Arkansas, regardless of their party. But my path forward is to meet the people where they are.
And finally, the Republican frontrunner in this race, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. We gave her campaign 4 months to do a sit-down interview, but they declined to talk to THV11, saying they did not have time to share her platform with viewers or have anything to contribute right now. So we looked to past events she's held to bring some insight of her plans if she gets the governor's job.
And I know I can be the leader that Arkansas needs.
Huckabee Sanders is the daughter and former staffer of past Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, and more recently served as White House press secretary to former President Donald Trump. As she exclusively told us at her campaign kickoff event this summer, she wants to focus on developing the outdoor economy.
I think our outdoor economy is a huge advantage for Arkansas. We call ourselves the natural state for a reason. We need to go out and own that.
She also hopes to create more skill-based education opportunities.
I think we have to change the way that we look at education, and we need to focus on making sure that we're actually putting them on a path to prosperity so that when they either graduate from high school, whether it's graduating from a 2-year program, a trade school, or a 4-year university, they're ready to go out into the workforce.
This only scratches the surface, as this series doesn't include the other candidates still on the ballot. Next week, we'll continue to explain the candidates' belief on social issues like abortion rights, as well as health care concerns like vaccination mandates. Reporting, Sarah Horbakowitz.